In the 1986 AFC Championship, two teams that posted the best records in the AFC met to decide who would go to the Super Bowl. However, with one more victory than the Broncos, the Browns had earned the home field advantage.
It started the night before the game. Our hotel in downtown Cleveland, there were Cleveland fans riding around till about 2 or 3 in the morning, beeping their horns, trying on purpose to keep us up, and they did their job because I heard them. And I remember going to dinner the night before the game, and we're in a real nice Cleveland restaurant. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm with Carl Mecklenburg, and I'm with my mom and my sister who had come in for the game. And the four of us are sitting there having dinner, and just before our salads came, we heard somebody start saying, "Go Browns. Go Browns," and it started building into this crescendo, and the whole restaurant was going, "Go Browns," and then they started, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," start barking, and we're going, "Man, where are we? What's wrong with these people?"
Go Brownies, here we go.
We've been besieged by dog barks and dog bones and everything else like that since we've come to Cleveland, and we saw the Cleveland Orchestra, heard them last night, and when the concert was over, they barked. So it's carried over even into classical music. They didn't bark in tune, though.
Not really.
The game was played in a -degree wind chill in historic Cleveland Stadium.
That was definitely the worst stadium that I'd ever played in.
It was a remarkable venue.
How dreary it was, how just outright depressing that place was.
It was a unique place to play.
Of course, it's right there on the lake, and it's freezing cold.
There was a certain ambiance, I think, about it.
On Saturday before the game, we went out onto the field and walked around and couldn't practice. They said they had to keep the tarps down to keep the grass in good shape. And the next day, on game day, walking out before the game, I realized that they were only keeping the green dirt protected because there was no grass.
It was unbelievable. It was almost surreal to be there because the dog pound. I mean, I can remember in pregame warm-ups, I had to stand at the 40-yard line so I didn't get hit by dog bones. You know, I mean, they were throwing them at me.
I'm out running around the field, and there's a barrage coming from the sky of dog biscuits. So the first lap, I come around, instead of hitting the end zone, I kind of cut it off at the end zone line. The second lap around, I'm at about the 5-yard line because there's a few good arms in the Cleveland dog pound over there. By the time the game started, we had pretty much grew to intensely dislike the Cleveland Brown fans, and there was no love lost. And we felt that we needed to do everything we could to make them go home and eat those dog biscuits.
The matchup featured two gifted young quarterbacks in Bernie Kosar and John Elway.
During that week, you know, it was a lot of bad press about Elway, how he couldn't win the big one and he'll never go to the Super Bowl, and different things from major people saying negative things about John. And so we kind of all got behind him during the week and just let him know how good a player he was.
By game's end, Elway's brilliance would be frozen in NFL history as the Denver Broncos met the Cleveland Browns in one of the NFL's greatest games.
Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl! Super Bowl!
There's a gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Maybe this is what we've been working for a long time. Let's go out and have some fun now. Let's get at them from the start. Let's cover this kickoff, get some field position now.
Cleveland won the toss, and I was interested to see what they would decide to do, whether or not they might want the wind, but they elected to receive the football, so Denver obviously will be taking the open end of the stadium and will be defending the Lake Erie side. And Rich Carlos, barefoot and all, puts the ball down on the tee as we're set to go for the AFC Championship, with the winner advancing 2 weeks to the Super Bowl in Pasadena. Bob?
The barefooted Carlos up to the ball and kicks it away. It is going toward Langhorne and hits inside the 10. Langhorne has to pick it up at the 5. He's across the 10 and knocked out of bounds by Harden near the 20-yard line.
Barney, tell him to get off and move that stack.
Slaughter is wide right. Mack shifting back with Biner. First down. Pitch the ball to Biner. Biner starting to the right. Louis Wright has him, and he goes to the 20-yard line for a 1-yard gain. And make the correction, it was Mack. Biner is the up bet. Brennan in motion. And the handoff This time Mack coming to the right 21-yard line, and that's about it. As he got near the sidelines, was grabbed by Louis Wright again. And now it will be a 3rd down and 8.
Cleveland would have to throw into the wind. They don't particularly want to do that, but they almost have to now, and Denver's adjusted the defense.
Kozar under center. Drops the throw on the 3rd down 8. The pressure. He runs up in the pocket, heaves the pass, and it's batted away by Randy Robbins near the 25-yard line, and that could have been an interception. Gossett, the punter, stands at his 6-yard line. Gerald Wilhite is back for the Broncos at the 38-yard line. 4th and 8 for the Browns. The snap, and Gossett's punt isn't going very far. Hits across the 50. Broncos let it go. It'll roll toward the 42, and Denver will start from its own 42 with a win in this first quarter. The Browns get nothing out of their first possession, and Denver will start from its 42-yard line. Broncos have Orson Mobley, the rookie H-back, in addition to Hackett. Start from the 42. Winder is the setback, and Elway wants to throw on 1st down. Incomplete for Mobley at the 50. The ball got there just as he was turning for it. Eddie Johnson, the middle linebacker for the Browns, was also there. So the Broncos throw on 1st down, and it is incomplete. Denver will have a 2nd and 10 from its 42-yard line. Mobley is an H-back at the right side. In motion. Elway dropping on 2nd and 10. Blitz, throws the screen pass, incomplete for Winder at the 40-yard line.
Now we're getting a penalty.
Getting a late signal.
And it's against the Broncos, whatever it might be.
Offensive pass interference on number 89. The penalty will be accepted.
When you play a championship game on the road, you know that things aren't going to happen real well for you early, and you just kind of have to hang in there, and I think that was our thinking.
The Broncos go to the shotgun on the 2nd and 20. Elway is giving hand signals. Watson is in motion to the left. Watson settles down at the left side. Elway running up in the pocket, and he's got some room, runs to the right, heads for the sidelines and out of bounds at the 34-yard line in front of Chip Banks. Broncos stay in the shotgun. Elway with a snap, dropping and throwing, and it is Wilhite 35-40 heading to the sidelines, 45, and knocked down at the 49-yard line, and the Broncos will have a 4th down 3 from their 49-yard line. So the offensive pass interference proves costly, and the snow flurries pick up.
Well, if you call this flurries, I don't want to see a storm.
Snap back to Haran, and he gets the punt away, going toward the far side and out of bounds. See where they mark it, but it looked to be around the 15, they'll say the 14-yard line. So the Browns will get it for the 2nd time in this scoreless first quarter. 12:37 to go, snowing hard.
But you could still pretty much execute your game plan, and it was just a typical, better day in Cleveland than some of the ones you've had coming in off that lake. Could get off of cold. I mean, it was cold, but it didn't take away from, it wasn't Green Bay, championship 17 below cold.
Kozar takes the snap and drops. And this time the pass is complete for a 1st down at the 25-yard line. Langhorne made the catch, tackled by Louis Wright at the 25, and there is the first down of the ball game. And the Browns got a little operating room in this scoreless first quarter, but we're only 3 minutes into the game. Still 12 minutes to go in the quarter. Broncos adjust the defense. Kozar fakes the handoff, drops to the 15, and the pass is en route and complete at the 38-yard line to Fontenot, tackled by Mike Harden, and the Browns have their 2nd first down, and now have taken the ball from the 14 to the 38-yard line. Broncos plots the defense. Handoff is to Mack, trying to run to the right side over the 40, 43-yard line, and then pushed back from the 43 by Tom Jackson. And now the Browns at their 43 with a 2nd down 5. Kozar in the count. And to Mack, and Mack's got a big hole over the 50. Bronco 45 to the Denver 42.
Kevin Mack was just a load to bring down, is what he was. We kind of came out of that first quarter saying we got to put more hats on this guy because one person was not going to bring him down. And I think we all knew that we were in for a dogfight.
And the Browns keep moving, and now are at the Denver 42-yard line with a first down. The Browns in that 4 wide they like. Kozar with some time and throws to Fontenot, and he's open. He's at the 20. He'll go to the 15-yard line. Fontenot all by himself up the middle as Kozar delivered the ball on a 3rd down 7. And the Browns keep moving. Dennis Smith made the tackle, but Cleveland is at the Denver 15-yard line, and this has turned into a very nice drive for the Browns. Slaughter split to the left side, plus Mack, who gets the handoff, and he's got a hole in the middle to the 10. 5-yard gain on first down by Kevin Mack. 2nd and 5 Browns at the Denver 10-yard line. Fontenot in motion. Kozar gives the ball to Mack, the left guard, for a couple. He's still trying to pump. He's at the 8, trying to get to the 7-yard line. Split the difference, and they'll have about 2.5 yards to go for a first down. And Kozar is throwing for it, and he's got a receiver wide open who drops the ball in the end zone. Holt.
Boy, was that ever there. Holt just couldn't make connections with the football. Kozar had it to him, and he was wide open.
2nd and goal. Everett and Mack in the eye. The pitch is to Mack, starting left. Loses the football. It is loose at the 6-yard line. First fumble of the game. Looks as if the Browns may have gotten it back. They do. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. No score. Fontenot behind Kozar.
Kozar to throw. Swings it out. Fontenot has it at the 5. One man to beat.
What a move.
In the end zone for a touchdown. Herman Fontenot pulled the trigger. What a deceptive move for a Brown score.
They had him covered all the way. Tony Lilly got into position to try and make a tackle on Fontenot, and he said, partner, I'm hurdling you for 6 points.
Terrible tackle attempt by Tony Lilly. Fontenot was isolated on Lilly one-on-one at the 5-yard line, and Fontenot just ignored Lilly's tackle attempt, and the Browns lead 6-0.
Cleveland, on their second drive, I think they were able to score on the pass to Fontenot that, to this day, I will say was an illegal pick. Nobody knows that Fontenot was my guy, and I was not within 20 yards of Fontenot because the wide receiver had come in and just knocked me down on a pick play. Of course, it wasn't called, and I'll complain to this day that it was illegal.
Bob, you can't make any excuses there. He didn't deke him, he didn't fake him, he didn't do anything. Lilly simply didn't tackle him.
86-yard drive.
Oh, I don't think we would have taught anything like that. Maybe it happened by chance, but certainly not by design.
Now the extra point attempt by Mosley.
Could be an adventure at that end of the field, too.
Gossett is the holder. I think everything will be an adventure at that end. Ball is down, and the kick by Mosley is good. 5:19 left, first quarter. Cleveland 7, Denver nothing.
Throughout the first quarter, Cleveland's defense kept the pressure on Denver's top gun. Hurried by the Browns and hobbled by an ankle sprain suffered in a playoff win over New England a week earlier, Elway could not generate any offense.
Browns said all week they were worried about.
But with the first quarter winding down, Denver's defense made sure the Browns weren't going anywhere either.
Get it, Burn, get it, we need it, Burn! Turn over defense! Turn over!
Brennan's back in, Holt has returned. Kozar fakes the handoff and throws the interception to Hundley at the 50. I don't know what Kozar was looking for, and there is the first turnover of the game. The Broncos.
I remember watching the ball fly into Ricky Hundley's hands and thinking, who was Bernie throwing to? Because the only one in the area seemed to be Ricky Hundley. Now, he was throwing downfield a little bit further, but the ball just didn't get any air under it, and Ricky was able to pick it off. Made a nice run back, and I remember just trying to run down the field to get the block for him and feeling real good about the fact that we were going to have some good field position.
With momentum and the ball, Denver's change of fortune sparked a second quarter comeback.
First quarter is over. Cleveland 7, Denver nothing.
Lee 15X cut out Y sneak on one. On one, right?
Like left slap.
Yeah.
Three receivers left. Broncos in the shotgun. Now moving from west to east.
Red 98. Hot.
Into the wind. 3rd and 16 at the 42. Elway Chase runs to the right. Runs some more. Slips a tackle. And throws it back across the field toward the 30-yard line, where it's caught by Vance Johnson, who came back to the 35 and made the catch. Elway almost run out of bounds on the near side. Threw the ball across the field into the wind. Vance Johnson had to come motoring upfield a long way.
About 15 yards.
And made the catch between the 35 and 36. It was quite a throw by Elway under the circumstances. In the shotgun on a 4th and 10 at the Cleveland 36, trying to cash the turnover, the snap, and there's that short punt by Elway into the wind, and it hits at around the 15-yard line, angles toward the sidelines, and out of bounds at the 16.
You know, John was really good. It was more like a pooch kick than a quick kick. He was really good at, you know, getting them backed up. The wind was blowing, and you never know what's going to happen in a, you know, punch situation like that. But because the protection was really good and you could get the thing off and you knew there wasn't going to be a return, just thinking that we could get them trapped, you know, down deep inside their own territory.
Thanks to its versatile quarterback, the Broncos had the Browns bottled up deep in its own territory. Now, it was up to Denver's defense.
Gozard had an excellent interception record, less than 2% during the regular season, through 2 last week against the Jets. The Browns are at their 27-yard line with a first down. Gozard to throw on first down and steps up in the pocket, throws it, and Hawaiian intercepts this one at the 35-yard line. Down the sidelines over the 30, the 25. Still in bounds at the 5 and knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Jim Ryan with the interception. And for the second drive in a row, the Broncos have intercepted.
Bernie has this ability to kind of look here and then throw over here. I noticed that early in the game because he had thrown an out pattern to Brian Brennan a few plays earlier. And I had misread his eyes because I think I could have got a hand on that one had I read it correctly. So it was just a few plays later that he was looking. Then he looked over this way, and I started to turn upfield, but then came back knowing that, you know, he might not be looking where he's going to throw the ball, and I guessed correctly. And then as I spun around and was going down the sideline, I felt sure I was going to score. I mean, because I could see really no one to my right coming from the field, and I thought, I'm going to score. And all of a sudden, boom, I got knocked out of bounds. And I think it was Cody Risen or one of their offensive linemen. The guys today still tease me about getting caught from behind by an offensive lineman. And I keep saying, he had the angle. And if you watch the tape, he had the angle.
Good return by Ryan, who took the ball away at the 30-yard line, and they ruled him out of bounds at the 9, and it is 1st and goal Broncos, who need to cash in on this one. Now what can Denver do? Mobley, the H-back, in motion to the right. Handoff is to Winder. Sammy slips the first tackle, goes to the 7. 7-0 Browns, but the Broncos with their best opportunity. Elway rolling to the right, throws the pass. It is to Will Height, and he's out of bounds at the 2. 3rd and goal inside the 2-yard line for Denver. Elway rolling to his right, threw the pass to Will Height at the 5. Will Height run out by Hanford Dixon at the 2-yard line for the Broncos. Fans in the east stands come to their feet. That's one place where the fans really are close to the field. 3rd and goal at the 2-yard line. Elway gives the ball to Sewell. Sewell starting to the left, trying to turn the corner. He dives. He's out of bounds inside the 2. Not much of a gain, and the Broncos will have 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. And here comes Carlos. This is the tough end of the field. Carlos will attempt a 19-yard field goal with Kubiak holding. 9-yard line, left hash mark. Ball is down. The kick by Carlos, good. And the Broncos with a 19-yard field goal make the score the Browns 7, the Broncos 3.
We were discouraged about not getting 7, but I think getting the field goal, you knew you had some points. You always stay in the game whenever you're scoring, whenever you're in close.
McNeil waits at the 5-yard line. Fontenot at his left and Langhorne at the right. as Carlos kicks it high. McNeil slides to his right, 7, 10. He's across the 25, gets out near the 30-yard line, the 35, runs into Ken Bell and Rick Dennison, but a decent return. And now with the Browns leading 7-3, they will get the football back. Kozar has thrown interceptions on their last 2 possessions, and they'll start from their 37 this time. And they'll give the ball to Mack, trying to run to the left side, out near the 40 without the football. And the Broncos have it. It is picked up by Ken Woodard. Woodard with an escort. He's at the 25. He is at the 20, the 10, the 5. And Ken Woodard takes the ball to the end zone. Have they blown anything dead?
Yep. When you don't see the officials running down the field, it's a good indication, and they were all just standing around that position.
7-3, another opportunity for the Broncos. In motion from the left is Jackson, gets it on, nope, fake reverse. And Elway in the pocket, now running. He's at the 35, gets a block. He's at the 30, the 20, the 15. Elway at the 5 and out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. John Elway on the scramble.
The rush came high, and I just stepped up inside it. Studdard pushed him outside of me, and I stepped up in through it. And when I looked downfield, they were awful soft, and I just turned the football up and knew I could get the first down. There was plenty of room, so I got as far as I could.
Him going into that game with a sore ankle, but not complaining about it, really not making a big deal about it, I think it hurt him a lot more than he let on, and I think we knew that, and I think that kind of inspired us a little bit. That was a turning point in the game. It seemed to generate some inspiration among the offense that they can move the ball.
94 blast on set hut, ready?
34-yard run by Elway, whose ankle didn't look too bad on that play. And the Broncos have a 1st and goal at the Cleveland 3. Trailing 7-3. Sewell, the H-back, in motion from the left. Hand the ball to Lang straight ahead. And he is stopped short, but he's close. Should be inside the 1. 2nd and goal for the Broncos. Call it the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal, Denver. Lang and Winder still in the eye. Give the ball to Sammy. Tries to go over the top, but he doesn't score. 3rd and goal. Now a little over a yard away. Elway fakes and now runs up and throws the ball for Sewell, incomplete. Elway was being sacked at around the 10-yard line when he got rid of the ball, and it was Clay Matthews.
Sewell was open, too.
Had they blown the whistle? He hurried the throw into the right flat for Sewell. But now Denver will have 4th and goal, a yard and a half away, and the Broncos do not, this time, send out Rich Carlos.
I remember saying, hey, this is a pretty gutsy move, and I liked it. I think on the sideline, we loved having Dan Reeves call that play and say, we're going for it on 4th down, because that told us, hey, we're here to win.
Red 98!
We're not here to just kind of keep it close. We're here to win the game.
Sewell in motion. Elway pitching. The Broncos bring it to the right side, and Wilhite dives in for the touchdown. Gerald Wilhite scores, and the Broncos lead 9-7.
All season, Dan had told Gerald, don't leave your feet, don't leave your feet. And if you remember Gerald Wilhite, he was a jumper, and he would make the plays, but it wasn't anything that Dan was very comfortable with. And sure enough, on the pitch, Gerald goes airbound, and you just hold your breath, hoping that when he lands, he's in the end zone for his sake and ours.
Gerald would do his own thing, and he did go over the top, and he got in the end zone, and once you score, they never complain about you going up or under.
Broncos went for it on 4th down, get the touchdown. The extra point attempt by Carlos Good.
3 consecutive turnovers gave Denver the lead, and with the second quarter ticking away, Cleveland needed to strike quickly. Cleveland started a drive they hoped would give them the lead.
Throws, going deep for Weathers. Weathers got the ball at the 30, 25, down to the 20-yard line.
Cleveland flew to Denver's 2-yard line, but with 31 seconds remaining in the half, the Broncos defense rose to meet the Browns' only challenge of the quarter.
Browns now with a 3rd and goal to go. Let that clock continue to run. They'll use as much of it as they can down in here.
3rd and goal, and Kozar running to his right and looking and throwing it away. And a flag, and I think they're going to call him for it. Let's see. Broncos going after the referee, Chuck Heberling. He threw the ball into the ground just before he went out of bounds, and that's what they're calling him for. 4th down. So Mosley now will have a field goal try of 29 yards, 19-yard line, right hash mark. Field goal attempt by Mosley, spins up, and it is good. We are tied. 29-yard field goal by Mosley makes it Denver 10, Cleveland 10.
So they have the momentum going into halftime, and we don't. But the fact that we were still in it on the road in those kind of conditions, we really weren't discouraged, and we went in and said, all right, guys, this is a 0-0 game. You know, this is it. We got to get out there for these next 2 quarters, and we'll win the thing.
Obviously, we had hoped that we could be up at that particular time because being at home, it would have served us well. But we went back in the locker room, and if memory serves me well, it was, hey, you know, we've got another half to go. It's as it began, and now what we've got to do is take care of the ball, and let's find a way to get the job done.
The half is over. And the Broncos and Browns go off the field with nothing settled. Denver 10, Cleveland 10 at halftime.
Denver will have the wind at its back in period number 3 and will receive the football. So Cleveland obviously elected to take the wind in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I'm not sure the other end is a bargain, Larry. Mosley kicking it off in the direction of Bell, and he drops the ball. It is loose at the 10-yard line, and he is hit at the 8. The swirling winds may have played a role there.
Bell couldn't seem to find the handle.
We may see turnovers in the second half as we did in the first, and they could be decisive. And Bell is still down on the ground. I think that's because there's still bodies on top of him.
Tied at 10, the 3rd quarter was a battle between 2 fierce defenses.
Elway steps up in the pocket, now runs. Running to the right, here comes the pressure, and the first sack of the day. Sam Clancy for the Browns.
It was a defensive struggle. We started to understand that one score is going to be really, really significant in this game. And that's why I think defensively we kind of tried to pull our belts a little tighter and make sure that we did not surrender any big plays. That 3rd quarter was the realization that if we give up one big play or an easy touchdown or something like that, we ain't going to the Super Bowl.
Denver played inspired defense, but so did Cleveland. And midway through the period, the Browns produced the game's first controversy.
3rd down and 5. Elway on the drop, looking and throwing it to the right side for Jackson, and it is incomplete and not intercepted. The Browns thought they had it as Harper jumped in front of Jackson and got his hands on the ball, but then went out of bounds.
Well, that might be one they'll take a look at in the replay.
Defensive back is no different from a receiver in that case.
Has to be both feet in.
And control of the ball. He made a nice play on it.
Yes, he did. He cut out in front of Mark Jackson. Well, I don't know, Bob. I don't know about that one.
Well, Jack Reeder will take a look at it. He's getting another angle from television here. Bronco defense has come out.
Instant replay, look. The pass was intercepted by Cleveland. It's first down.
They overruled it. Cleveland's ball.
I probably was real calm. I probably didn't get excited about it. I'm sure that I agreed with the officials and everything. It wasn't like it was going to be changed. You know, if they make those decisions, you know, get them reversed.
The replay official rules that he did, so Elway has thrown an interception.
First turnover by the Broncos.
However, the stunning reversal of fortune failed to produce any points. Midway through the 3rd quarter, Denver's offense finally got on track.
Third possession of the 3rd period. They've had a punt. The other drive ended with the interception by Harper, and let's see what Elway can do here.
6:55 to play in the 3rd quarter. This period scoreless so far. 10-10 tie. Johnson is in motion, And Elway back, getting some blitz from the right side, but throws the pass, and it's Clarence Kay making a leaping catch at the 47-yard line for a first down. He had to go high for that one. Made the catch in front of Chip Banks, who tackled him right away. But the Broncos pick up another first down and move the ball out to the 47-yard line. Cleveland had the 86-yard drive for their touchdown, but otherwise both teams have had trouble being consistent on offense today. And Winder across the 40 to the 38-yard line, just pulled down from behind by Clay Matthews. And Sammy Winder beginning now to put the yards together. He had 102 on 19 carries last week. Winder and Wilhite split wide behind Elway. Starts Sewell in motion. This time Wilhite starts to the left and squirts to the 35-yard line. He cut inside of Studdard's block. Just a couple of yards that time. Mobley is the tight end with Wilhite and Winder. Elway setting up at the 45. Pass is caught. Mobley 26-yard line. And do we have a holding or a late hit as a flag is dropped where John Elway was down at the 47-yard line? Personal foul on the Browns. So the pass to Mobley gets the Broncos to the 26-yard line. I saw Elway go down and a flag drop. And the preliminary signal is personal foul.
Unnecessary roughness, number 96, roughing the passer.
It's on Reggie Camp, and it's a good call.
So the Broncos now are at the Cleveland 13-yard line. First down, Denver. A drive that started at the Bronco 30. Lang and Winder, the running backs. It's Winder again trying to come left, and he's at the 15. He's grabbed and pulled out of bounds near the 11. Carlos, who is 1 for 1 today from 19, 3 for 3 in the playoffs, wants this one held 26 yards away. Right hash mark, 16-yard line. Kubiak is the holder. The snap, the ball is down. Carlos's kick. Got it. And the Denver Broncos are back on top. Denver 13 and Cleveland 10.
The third quarter ended with the Broncos in the lead. However, Cleveland was far from finished as the '86 AFC Championship headed towards an epic finish.
Browns open the fourth quarter at the Denver 20, moving from east to west, and have a second down and 3. Kozar asks the crowd to calm down a little bit. Mack and Biner, the running backs, hand the ball to Kevin Mack, and he's running outside right, turns and gets to the 15 to the 14-yard line. He's just bouncing off people, and another Cleveland first down. Foley made the tackle on him. Mack the difference the way they're running this drive. First down, Browns at the Denver 14.
All right? Huh? Yeah. I just got a bit. My head was just laying.
Mack the running back, 13-10 Denver, but the Browns closing in. Give it to Mack again into the middle to the 11. Carl Mecklenburg made the tackle for the Broncos.
It's a screen this way.
We're a minute into the fourth quarter. 2nd and 7 at the 11 for Cleveland. And Mack trying to run to the right side, gets it to the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. Louis Wright, Rulon Jones, Simon Fletcher.
And Robbins.
They're just letting Mack do the work right now, and he's doing it as the Browns have third down and need over 3 yards. They are inside the Denver 8. Kozar on the third down, 4 wide receivers, and the throws it away. Threw it over Brennan, who was covered by Wilson at the back of the end zone, and Kozar that time opted to save the field goal position for Mosley, who will try to tie it. I love Mosley's comment. Somebody asked him about the winning field goal against the Jets, and he said, I just kicked it between those 2 yellow things sticking up at the end. See if he can do it again. This one is good. 24-yard field goal by Mosley, who kicked it between those yellow things sticking up at the end to tie the game 13-13. 12:38 left in the fourth quarter, and we are still tied in Cleveland.
We've come too damn far. I'm telling you, to be denied. Let's go. Let's go.
Cleveland rose to the challenge by forcing Denver to go 3 and out on its first 2 possessions of the fourth quarter. After Denver's second punt, The Browns were at midfield with 6.5 minutes to play.
Well, the thing that most of us felt coming into this game is the two teams were fairly evenly matched, that it's probably the two best teams in the American Football Conference meeting for the championship. And Bob, they've played 47 minutes and 22 seconds and nothing's settled yet, 13-13.
And it could still come down to something strange happening in the last minute or two. So now the Browns will start from their 48-yard line on this possession. 6:40 left, tied at 13. Kozar in the count. The drop, gives it to Fontenot. Fontenot trying to run to his right, gets to the 50, to the Denver 48-yard line, knocked down by Rulon Jones.
Big third down play here now with the time running down to 6 minutes.
Take them all the way, Bernie. Take them all.
Fontenot in the backfield on the 3rd and 6. Kozar, and he is throwing it up the near side for Brennan, and it is caught by Brennan at the 15. Dennis Smith falls down, and Brennan scores.
Touchdown Browns! Brian Brennan has done it for the umpteenth time. What a tremendous play by Brian Brennan.
Thank you. Super Bowl.
Smith got all tangled up, trying to knock the ball away from Brennan, went down on his knees. Brennan made the catch and took it into the end zone, with Cleveland leading 19-13.
Well, that was a big play. Dennis Smith really had a shot at the interception.
Dennis Smith wound up slipping, and Brennan catches the ball. Big play. One of those plays that, in most cases, it's like a dagger to the heart play, and most teams would give up. But our team was pretty resilient.
I do remember at that point guys getting a little bit discouraged and a little bit concerned because we were doing so well defensively. They weren't moving the ball. And all of a sudden, one big play kind of opened the whole thing up. And, of course, their fans went crazy, and they're celebrating. And nothing was happening until then. And then all of a sudden, one big play kind of opened everything up.
52 yards on the drive, 48 on the touchdown. And now the extra point attempt by Mosley. Good. And it is Cleveland 20, Denver 13. Denver had been ahead 13-10. We still have 5:43 to go.
It was a circumstance now where we were in a position to control our own destiny.
We are gonna win it.
You never know with Elway and company. They've got the great capability of striking quickly. It's the Browns, 20-13.
I can remember getting ready for the kickoff, and in my mind, I'm thinking about plays that we can run from our own 20, and so kind of have an idea of what plays you want to run, and all of a sudden they kick off.
All right, here's Mosley's kickoff. It's a floater that hits at the 15, skips inside the 5. It's all the way back in the 2. The Broncos can't cover it, and now they do it the 1-yard line. A big mistake by the Denver Broncos.
And the Broncos are 98 yards away from where they need to go.
Actually, it's not even at the 2.
Nope. About the 1.5.
We're down 2-yard line, and I'm sure everyone was sitting there thinking, this is over. I mean, we're in deep trouble.
There was never a moment in my mind where it was, boy, we've got this right where we want it. You're still in the contest, and there's still time to go.
They had it in hand with 5 minutes to go, and the Broncos at their own 1.5-yard line.
Certainly advantaged Cleveland in that circumstance.
It sure looked like there was no way the Broncos were going to beat the Browns that day.
And by the time that they got back there, the ball was dead at the 2-yard line, and all they could do would be to cover it.
You may have just seen the straw that broke the Broncos' back.
I thought it was all over. I had left the visiting owner's box and come down to the field just about the time they kicked off, and when I saw the ball on the 2-yard line, I thought, oh my God, first of all, we're never going to get out of our own end zone.
All seemed lost after the kickoff was fumbled and it was down on the 2-yard lines, 98 yards away. You're heading toward the dog pound. I mean, all of those things, the bad weather, it just all came together in that one segment of the game.
Well, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, but you can believe she's in the wings warming up the pipes.
I don't know if there was a fear or an intense confidence in my eyes, and when you looked around the huddle, I think everyone had a confidence in him, but it was mixed with just enough fear to make us play well.
We know we have to make a drive, and we have to put some points on the board. it's total concentration. And I can remember the only thing that is kind of gone down in the history books was Keith Bishop saying,
I just said to the other offensive linemen, the people in the huddle, we had them right where we wanted them.
And then the huddle set, and you can see this confidence in John's eyes as he began to instruct us on what the first play would be as we started the drive.
I got to tell you something right now, gentlemen. 5:34 left in the ball game. The Browns defense has done it all game long. It's now up to them to get that ball back, and we're history.
Pocket, pocket, set hot. Red 98.
Let's see what happens here as this one ticks down to its final moments.
Red 98 hot.
Watson right, Johnson left, Elway in the end zone and throwing it. It's complete. Winder dives out to the 7-yard line, picks up a little operating room there.
People forget the key play right there was the first play, because now you're not backed up in your end zone. You've got some room to operate.
Ball at the 7.
He tried to get out of bounds. The official says he didn't make it there, and that keeps the clock running, and that, of course, is exactly what Cleveland wants.
They lead 20-13. Still 5 minutes to go. Broncos have time, but they need something out of this drive. Vance Johnson's in motion, reverses the motion, and the pitch is to Winder. Winder coming to the right, cuts to the 10-yard line, and the Broncos will have third down and about 2. Spot the ball a little short of the 10-yard line. No shotgun. Denver with a 3rd and 2 at the 9. Sewell in motion from the H. Give the ball to Winder, and Sammy into the middle, driving, and he should just about have the first down at the 12-yard line. 4:11 left.
I think it's a first down.
20-13 in favor of Cleveland.
Ball's length.
Stretch out the chain. Denver has the first down.
Well, that's step number 1. They needed that one.
That was a very important play, and I remember when it unfolded, I thought, gosh, that was really a great opportunity lost.
Broncos are 12-0 when they score 20. Now they have to score 20 just to get a tie. Receivers left. 2 tight ends and Winder.
Red 98. Red 98 hot.
Johnson in motion. Handoff, Winder, and Winder bangs to the left side, but to the 15-yard line, about a 3-yard gain.
We seemed to not make a whole lot of progress, and the clock was running down.
Clock is running again with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and the Browns thinking about Pasadena. Elway's dropped the play fake, runs up in the pocket, running left. John's across the 20 and out to the 26-yard line, has the first down.
Now that's where John Elway can do it on his own.
Yeah, the thing is, you got to make him do it and punish him every time that he takes off like that. But with 2 minutes and 51 seconds and the clock running, Elway can run at 6 or 7 yards a clip all the rest of the day, and it won't matter.
And they're still at their own 25-yard line.
Wilhite and Sewell are the running backs. Mitchell, the H-back. Elway to pass on first down. The pass for Sewell. Got it and keeps it at the 48-yard line, and was he hammered.
Elway threaded the needle for 22 yards, and the chains keep moving. First down.
That was the best throw that Elway has put in the air in this ball game. He had it right on the money, and Sewell was wide open in that soft middle of the Browns cover.
It was called Fire Pass 94, and I had the option to either go to the corner or to the post, and ran down the field, and I saw that the safeties were split, so I decided to go to the post, and John didn't quite get it as much to the middle as I would have liked, because I wouldn't have gotten hit that way, but I had to go up and get the ball and get hit right as I caught it.
First down Denver at their 48 with 2:17 to go.
Come on, guys! Come on, stick it going, baby!
This one's going to go down to the 2-minute warning. Broncos will probably get one more play here. They've moved from their own 2.
Still Sewell and Wilhite. Elway's drop, and the pass this time is caught at the 40-yard line in Cleveland territory. Caught by Steve Watson. First down Broncos at the Browns 40.
With each successful play and each time we moved the markers, we became more confident.
And we're down to the 2-minute warning, actually 1:59, but another first down for the Broncos, who have taken the ball from their own 1.5 to the Cleveland 40. 2 minutes to go. Cleveland leading 20-13.
And it's time for the crowd to take over.
Denver suddenly took command not only of the football game, but of the stadium. And the closer they got, I thought the quieter the crowd got. Where it should have been getting louder, and the Cleveland defense was out there telling the crowd or asking them to help, I don't think it did. I really think that the crowd was quieted somewhat during that drive just by the fact that Denver kept moving the ball down close.
Well, the crowd should get into this one, folks. Don't sit back in apprehension. Start cheering, because right now is when you can help rattle John Elway.
Cleveland really does have the advantage here, but at the moment, the Broncos at least are still alive with 2 timeouts remaining, 1:59 to go.
Send the receivers to the left. Stay with Sewell and Wilhite, 2 of their better receivers in the backfield, as Elway runs up in the pocket and throws it, and it is incomplete for Vance Johnson inside the 5-yard line.
Come on, Johnny!
1:52 remaining. The Broncos have 2 timeouts.
2nd and 10. Elway reaches under center, goes back to throw. Elway under pressure, and down he goes. Elway is sacked at the 49-yard line by Dave Pizzulli. A 9-yard loss, and Paz gets his 7th sack of the season and his biggest one. All right, the Broncos, Jim, have just called timeout, and they're down to 1 remaining.
That's why that was even a bigger play, because they lose 9 yards. Now they are faced with a 3rd and 18. They had to use a timeout to stop the clock. They are 2 of 13 in the 3rd down conversion department.
We used a timeout after that situation, and Dan really told me that we got 2 downs to get 18 yards.
Let's go with
the magic carpet ride is still airborne, but not without some turbulence.
We did have the perfect defense. We had 4 men rushing. We have 5 guys playing man-to-man underneath with 2 safeties on the top.
A trip to Pasadena could boil down to this play, although you got to think that the Broncos will not punt. They'll go for it. It's a 2-down territory and time of the game for sure.
The entire season now hangs in the balance.
In the shotgun, Watson in motion, snap to Elway, and Elway's pass is coming and caught inside the 30-yard line. Mark Jackson is driven back, but his forward progress will be a 1st down at the 27th.
Once John called the play, I knew it, and I believe in his heart he knew it, that I was going to be his primary read. I was going to be the guy that was going to catch the ball. So for the first catch of the day, it was a pretty big catch.
When you see it, be sure you examine the events that transpire from the snap till John getting the ball in his hand.
In 2-minute situations where you got to get lucky, and there's no question we were lucky on this situation because the crowd was so loud that we were in a silent cadence, and I had motion with it, and I was trying to time the motion with the silent count, and we were just a little bit early with the snap, and it hit Steve Watson on the hip.
Watson in motion, the snap hit him. Elway back to throw.
John makes an excellent athletic maneuver just to handle the snap. Had Watson been 2 inches in either direction, or had it not been a guy like John, even if they get the ball back, it's 4th down and 30 or 30, whatever it might be. But Jackson got in behind him and made the catch that ultimately produced the 1st down. At that point, I became concerned.
It's something that was going to be labeled great was happening here. I think we sensed it even at the time.
Elway with a drop and throws it to the near side over Watson and out of bounds, kills the clock. The Broncos have moved the ball again from a drive that started after a badly mangled kickoff return attempt. They started inside their 2, and they are now at the Cleveland 28. That's where the ball is spotted, and they have a 2nd down and 10, down 7 points.
Got the ball back with 5:43 to go, and they've kept it ever since then. We're down to 1:19.
Still in the shotgun. The snap. Elway's drop, the late pressure, throws the screen, and Sewell, 30, 25, down the sidelines, 20, cuts back inside, gets inside the 15, 1st down Broncos at the 14-yard line with 1:05 to go.
It was a screen, halfback screen left. That was a point where we were actually in our 2-minute offense, so every time we were in the huddle, we called 2 plays. So whenever you run the first play, you get as many yards as you can. You don't have to worry about getting out of bounds because you have 2 plays called. After that first play, you get right back and line up and run the second play. And so we ran the screen, it opened up, I was able to cut and saw that I could have gone out of bounds early, but I figured I can get about 5 or 6 more yards and tried to do that. And knowing that we had 2 plays called, got tackled and then got back to the line of scrimmage to run the second play.
No timeout, ball at the 14-yard line. Broncos have 1 timeout left. Still in the shotgun. Elway throwing it to the near side for Watson, out of bounds. Boy, Watson had Minifield with him all the way and went up for the ball, but had no real chance at catching it inbounds. That stops the clock.
And we are down to 49 seconds to go. A 20-13 Browns lead. They've come from behind with 10 fourth quarter points, and now they're trying to hang on.
Back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, 14-yard line.
Red 98! Red 98! Hunt!
Watson in motion, left to right. Snap Elway, running to his right, trying to direct traffic. He's at the 10. John's at the 5 and skids out of bounds at the 4-yard line. He's close to another first down, and the clock is at 42 seconds.
Mike Johnson was the babysitter on that play. He found out just how fast John Elway was. John Elway started to pull away from him.
See where they mark him out.
You know, his feet slid forward across the marker, but I'm not so sure
It's
he
where
got
the ball
first
is.
down.
It's where the ball goes.
And the ball was about 1.5 yards shy of the first down.
Now you're thinking about, you know, we got to get this thing in there because they were more difficult to score. The closer you got to the goal line and everything got congested, you know, it was really difficult to get the thing in there.
42 seconds to go. Broncos at the Cleveland 5. 3rd down and 1 yard. Stay in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. 20-13 Browns. Mark Jackson in motion. The snap to Elway. The look. The throw. Touchdown! John Elway has just thrown the touchdown to Mark Jackson. 5 yards. 98.5-yard drive.
We call it option left 62 route, but we have a guy in the flat, and we have Mark coming in on a slant route, and with Sewell coming out of the backfield, the corner came off Mark, and I was able to get a seam in there, and I threw it. It was a low heater too, because if Mark didn't get it, nobody was going to get it. I can remember seeing Mark Jackson wide open and saying to myself, get this ball to him as fast as you can get it to him. And I don't remember throwing the ball as hard as I threw that ball.
The fact of the matter is, I was never the guy to catch the ball in there. My whole goal and my whole purpose in that play was to rub, not pick, was to rub Vance's guy as he ran the shoot route and he was going to catch the ball. I come open on the 2 route, which is a quick slant, and I'm really not expecting the ball. There's a big line between John and I, and all of a sudden I see his eyes just blow up, and he's looking directly at me. And when his arm goes back, I'm thinking, holy smokes, the ball's coming. And as the ball clears some lineman's hand, I see it going to the ground, and I go down, and somehow I get underneath the ball. And when I came up, it was just pure energy. It was incredible. I see the ball in my hand. At that point, I began to perform what I think was the worst spike in NFL history.
And anybody who thought that Mr. Elway was overrated as a quarterback had better think again. And the Broncos, in what must go down as an exceptional performance, have gone 98 yards, and they're on the verge of tying it up with an extra point try coming up by Carlos.
Tremendous jubilation, but then also you're thinking about here we are in the open end of that stadium, and I've seen so many things happen in that end of the stadium. I'm thinking, boy, we can't miss this extra point.
Now the extra point attempt.
I just remember being a little bit more nervous about that because the flying dog bones and the dog pound was in a frenzy, and you know they felt like they could turn the game on their own. As a kicker, that would be the ultimate disaster, and you know, that's something you'd never live down the rest of your life if you missed the extra point after going 98 yards, scoring a touchdown.
Ball is down. Carlos's kick. Got it. We're tied. Denver 20. Cleveland 20 with 37 ticks left on the clock.
This stunning 98-yard drive not only wrote the comeback legend of John Elway, it propelled one of the NFL's greatest games into overtime.
Now we're at a disadvantage. We're going to go to overtime, but momentum has clearly shifted to Denver.
So the Denver comeback sends us into overtime. At the end of the fourth quarter, the score, the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns are tied at 20. Let's get the coin toss because that could be really important in the start of the overtime.
All right, we're going to do this again. We're going to call it loud and clear in the air, please. Head. We called a head. And it's a tail. Take the ball. Which way? Stand there. Going over on this side. Over on this side. Cleveland. When the clock will receive.
And the Broncos will take the wind and move from east to west. The Browns will get the ball going from left to right.
Setting the tempo now. We got a chance right on this
There's
kickoff.
the first period, the second period, the third period, the fourth period. This is the Browns period. Let's go. Let's go.
They don't win. That's right.
We got to do it. We got to find it somewhere.
The winner going to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. The kickoff by Carlos is to McNeil at the 15. He's across the 20, the 25, and pulled down by Kenny Woodard near the 30. Browns with 3 wide receivers. And Mack have Newsom coming very wide to the right. Langhorne on that side as well. As Kozar looks to the left, looks to the right, in some trouble, runs up in the pocket and is down at the 31-yard line. Picked up a yard or so. Look left, look right, not much there. He was tackled by Rulon Jones and brings the ball to the 31-yard line. Technically averts the sack there. It's a 1-yard gain, and it is 2nd down and 9. 4 wide receivers. They've lost Slaughter to a dislocated shoulder. Kozar's back. The pass to the right flat. Brennan, 35 and out of bounds. Tony Lilly at the 38-yard line, and that will leave Cleveland with 3rd down and 2. Well, this crowd has really gone quiet. The Broncos took them out of it with that 5-yard touchdown pass. Everybody stayed. 79,915, we were told after the fourth quarter, is the attendance. They stayed to celebrate. But the celebration may have to be delayed for a while here. Browns at their 38. 3rd down and 2.
Come on, dude. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Stay with Fontenot in the backfield. Give him the ball. He's curving to the right, and Mecklenburg is there. He gets nothing.
When they ran the ball on 3rd down, Carl Mecklenburg made the tackle, I think, and somebody else. And I thought to myself, boy, they're playing not to lose. I hope that we play to win. That's when I really thought we've got this game.
And the Browns have a 4th down and 2. And Gerald Wilhite waits inside the 20-yard line. Gossett is the punter. We're in overtime. First overtime. Gossett hangs one up. Wilhite to his right, 21-yard line, and down at the 25. So the Broncos will get the ball in the overtime. They'll start from their 25.
28!
Backs are split behind Elway.
28
On 1st down, Sewell in motion, and Winder twists into the middle to the 29, almost the 30-yard line. Close to 5-yard gain.
John, after taking the team 98 yards, I think John's confidence level was as high as it could get. He just started to dismantle them, and they helped us too. I mean, they went into a prevent defense, and I think that helped us a great deal because John just picked them apart.
30, Mobley's an H-back at the right side, plus Winder. Johnson in motion. Elway dropping on 2nd down, getting some blitz and throwing it up the right side. Mobley across the 50 and to the Cleveland 48-yard line, 1st down. Mobley, slanting right, made the catch in front of the Denver bench and in front of Ray Ellis, who made the tackle. And the Broncos pick up the 1st down, and they are at the Cleveland 48-yard line.
And Denver really seems to have the momentum now. Cleveland just sort of laying back, which is really what they did in that final drive.
We won't worry about the clock because if we run out of this overtime, we just keep going. Receivers to the left. Tied at 20 in OT. Winder, the only running back. 2 tight ends. Pitch, Winder. Winder trying to get wide to the left. Throws a stiff arm, but he's out of bounds near the 50-yard line. So now 2nd down and over 12 to go for the Broncos. Denver goes right to the shotgun. 2nd and 12 from the 50. Elway on the drop, backpedaling, throwing the screen for Sewell, incomplete. And that one was self-destructing all over the field.
Empty wide to right.
Now Denver with a 3rd and 12 at the 50-yard line. Shotgun again. Now you hear the crowd. 3rd and 12 at the 50. Vance Johnson in motion going right. Elway takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket, and here comes the pressure, and John's on the run. He's at the 50. Throws the ball upfield. Fingertip catch at the Cleveland 22-yard line by Watson, who is hammered. Looking back to make sure that Elway hadn't crossed the 50-yard line, the line of scrimmage, when he threw the ball, but he was okay, and the Broncos have a first down at the Cleveland 22-yard line. The clock shows 11:03 left in the first overtime in Cleveland. Broncos came off the ropes after being behind 20-13 to go 98 yards in 15 plays and score the tying touchdown. Now 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and Winder. Handoff is to Winder. Winder to the right side, gets to the 17-yard line. 5-yard gain for Winder as he got in behind Mobley's block. 2nd and 5 at the 17. Receivers left, and Winder to the 15-yard line.
All right, Sammy, baby! All right!
Does that hurt?
No, not too bad. I was trying to find some grass.
It's all this.
Right now, the Broncos are setting it up. They don't want to make a big mistake. They don't want to lose the field position, lose the center of the field. And it's all going to rest on the barefoot foot of Carlos, I believe, unless Denver can go for a first down here, but they're not going to really do anything fancy, Bob, I wouldn't believe.
It's 3rd and 4. They're at the 16-yard line. No shotgun. Give it to Winder, and Sammy trying to go to the right. No gain. Driven back. And now Denver will have a 4th and 4 at the Cleveland 16-yard line.
As I was running on the field, John was running off, and John was as wound as I've ever seen him. He was just so uptight, and as he was running by me, he just kept yelling, "It's just like practice, just like practice, just like practice." And I just looked at him and went, "Yeah, you know."
And Carlos will try to do it here.
Well, Elway's done his job. He got him down there in position. He got the game tied when it seemed like all was lost. And now it's up to Bishop, the center of the ball, Kubiak to get it down, and Carlos to kick it.
At that point, you're either going to make it or you're going to miss it. You don't really have any hand in it from the position that you're standing in.
This will be a 32-yard try. Dead center behind the 22-yard line.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
To win it in overtime. Ball is down. Carlos's kick is on the way, and it is good. The Denver Broncos have come from behind to win it in overtime on a 32-yard field goal by the now submerged Rich Carlos, who is swarmed under by his teammates at the 27. And this time, folks, it is no miracle. The Broncos are going to the Super Bowl because they earned the trip. Final score, Denver 23, Cleveland 20. And the Broncos are headed for Pasadena 2 weeks from today.
Super Bowl! Super Bowl! We got the Super Bowl!
There were many, many people who for the longest period of time said that it was wide. I know one thing, it wasn't dead in the middle, but I don't doubt that it was good.
Cleveland would lose to Denver in 2 more AFC championship games, but none would surpass the drama of this hard-to-watch, fabulous finish.
If you look at replays, you won't find John Elway along the front of the bench or the sideline there. I was standing behind, almost near the bench, and he and Steve Watson came over, and they said, "We can't look." So they kind of had their heads on my shoulders like this, facing the stands, and I'm looking. And I couldn't see the kick. I just saw everybody start screaming and yelling. I said, "Boys, we're going to the Super Bowl."
The Broncos have done it and have beaten the Browns 23-20, winning in overtime in Cleveland. 5 minutes and 48 seconds in on the bare foot of Rich Carlos, 32-yard field goal, and Denver will fly home tonight the winner.
They were preparing the post-game celebration in the Browns locker room, and then all of a sudden they had to take it to the Denver locker room.
We gonna party!
There was so much at stake in this ball game. You know, a championship game on the road, a chance to, you know, to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, in the drive to go 98 yards with so much on the line, you know, I think solidified in everybody's mind that John Elway was a quarterback that, you know, if you're given an opportunity, he was going to come through in those situations.
I went up to John in the locker room and I said, thank you. I said, thank you for taking me to the Super Bowl. I don't think we get to the Super Bowl without John Elway. I mean, we're all thrilled to be a part of that team and know that we had to play well defensively, offensively, but the man who willed us to the Super Bowl was John Elway.
It was hard for me to believe. You know, I remember saying to myself, oh my God, you know, it's kind of, we're going to the Super Bowl, and the way we're going is we beat Cleveland in Cleveland on a 98-yard drive.
When you think of John Elway, that's where you start to think about John as a great football player, is in that particular day in Cleveland.
It was clearly, in my view, in my experience, one of the greatest games of all time.
Hey, we're going, baby! Woo! Oh, man. Y'all with me on the NFL field, we going to the Super Bowl, baby!
In the hallowed skies of winter, a season comes full circle. Champions captured in metal, legends etched in gold and silver. Precious stones that tell the story of a team and the price that is paid for victory.
We had done something that no one else had ever done. We had gone from utter trash to gold.
He will hunt you down and tell you, make the frickin' play.
The only way to escape that kind of wrath was to be perfect.
I'm running out in the field, and Charlie says, you better take care of that ball. And Drew was kind of standing next to me, and he says, Dad, go out there and sling it.
And I got them together. I said, guys, we've worked our rear ends off to get here, but I emphatically made the point that this game's worth a big blanking ring.
They would start saying, kill, Bubba, kill. Kill, Bubba, kill. You were ready to snap this guy's neck if necessary.
And in that precise moment, when you know that the next ball game will be in the Super Bowl, it's, oh man, it just doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than that.
And so the countdown begins to the greatest Super Bowl team of all time. One team more perfect than any other. 11 men, flawless, on either side of an imaginary line. Offensively, brilliant. Defensively, undaunted. Men work a lifetime for this moment. One game that can define a career. It's a game we all love. It's their game. It's our game.
This has been a